Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschathyadi Shakarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Anybody would like to eat? Sorry, my throat is bad today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sing everyone.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare
Okay, I could hear Mirat singing. I could sing Aura singing. Very nice. Thank you everyone for participating. Okay, so one. Okay, please mute your mics. Okay, thank you. So we will start with Kartini Mataji. Ini Mataji, are you here yet? Okay, not yet. Anybody would like to do this? We're doing this verse comes every day. I think by end of the 18 days, you will memorize already.
Can I try?
Yes, Kusha Mataji.
I try the English one, or you want me to try the other one?
Up to you.
Okay, I'll try both, okay?
Okay.
Devaki Gita Gyan, essence of Bhagwan Gita. Devaki Nandana, Krishna Gita Patena Tusyati. Yata na Veder, Dhanena Yajna Tirti Vrata Dibi. The son of Devaki, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional reaction of the Gita. Vaishnava Tritiya Sara 22, is it?
Yeah, thank you. Rise devotional recitation. Okay, so Devaki Nandana Krishna is son of Devaki. Yatana Veder, now study of the Vedas. Danena, by charity, dana, charity, danam. Yajna, sacrifice. Tirtha, pilgrimage. Vrata dibhi, vrataha. Sometimes we do vrata. Vrata means austerities. So all these activities, the result will not come close to the to the benefit of devotional recitation of the Gita. Okay, Kartini Mataji, you are here. Okay, so you will do the second Vaishnava Tantra Sara. Okay, so these are deities of Iskcon, Seberang Jaya, Penang, Radha, Krishna, Kanaya. Okay, all right, Sri Radha Krishna Kanaya ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikna Vinasha Narsimha Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Okay, thank you. Kita Mahatmya from Vaishnava Tantriya Sara. Kartini Mataji.
One who day and night hears and recites the Gita is never to be taken as mere human being. Without a doubt, he is a veritable God.
All right, so veritable God, Deva Rupa, like Devas, okay, he is so elevated. So those who recite Bhagavad Gita day and night, they are considered Deva Rupa. Okay, all right, so this is the last verse from our slide yesterday, 8.28. Okay, so Krishna concludes the chapter by establishing the supreme position of a Bhakti yogi, actually, supreme position of a Bhakti yogi. Okay, it's recording right. All right. Vede suyajne sutapa suchaiva. Okay, this sloka is a bit long, right? Daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param stanamupaiti chaityam. A person who accepts the path or devotion service is not bereft of the results derived from the studying of the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotion service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Okay, so this verse is the summation of chapter 7 and chapter 8. Okay, so these two chapters particularly deals with Krishna consciousness and devotional service. So the beauty of Krishna consciousness or God consciousness is that by one stroke, engaging in devotional service, we can surpass all the rituals of different orders of life, which is studying of the Vedas. This is similar to the yellow slide we read in the beginning, right? Vedas, performing sacrifice, austerity, charity, pursuing philosophical and fruitive activity. That means pursuing philosophical means reading the Vedas or discussing about the philosophies, and fruitive activities. So, okay, so Lord Krishna here, he is mentioning that a pure devotee solely fixed on performing pure bhakti, Ananya bhakti or Kevala bhakti, and he can surpass all these paths, all right? And eventually, what happens to him? Eventually, what happens to him? Such.
Eternal abode.
Yes, he reaches the supreme eternal
eternal
abode.
abode.
Very good. All right, so with that, we will enter chapter 9 today. So in this chapter, generally speaking, this chapter is about Krishna explaining or establishing his majestic aspect of Krishna, the Aishwaryam, okay, and excellence of a pure devotee. But we will not cover everything under the Aishwaryam. So this we will cover in level 2. Okay, so generally there are 3 places you can find about knowledge. Chapter 2 and 3 is considered confidential knowledge. Chapter 7 and 8 is more confidential. Chapter 9 is most confidential. So if you split this chapter, 18 chapters, you will see that we are at the peak. Okay, we are actually like exactly in the middle of chapter 18, and Krishna hides this most confidential information in the center, right in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita. So let's see what is the difference between confidential, more confidential, and most confidential. All right, in chapter 2 and 3, Krishna spoke about the spirit, soul, and body. Later, how we can use that knowledge for liberation. And in chapter 7 and 8, okay, knowledge which brings about enlightenment about Krishna consciousness, Supreme Lord, and his energy. So you can see we are actually advancing based from the basic knowledge, okay, and then understanding about Krishna, his energy, and establishing that a bhakti yogi surpasses all kinds of other paths. Kush Mataji, please mute.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. And finally, the most confidential, Krishna is going to talk about pure unalloyed devotion. What is unalloyed? If you talk about alloy, it means the iron has been mixed with some other elements, okay, to make it strong. So unalloyed means unadulterated, unmotivated, unmixed, all right? It's pure. Basically, it's pure and delineates the glories of the Lord. So basically, chapter 7 and chapter 9 basically is pretty much the same, all right? It's just that before advancing to chapter 9, Krishna is going to give some practical aspect of devotional service. And this is how we can imagine. It's like a tangent, okay? This is chapter 7. And the tangent is here, chapter 9. Chapter 7, this is the tangent, chapter 8, and then we are progressing on chapter 9. So with that, we are entering the most confidential knowledge. So in the first 3 slokas, Krishna will glorify the knowledge that he is about to reveal. We will not cover all 3. We will only cover 2, verse 1 and verse 2. So let's see how he glorifies this knowledge. 9.1. I think Iswari Mataji not well, I think. Anybody would like to fill in? Suha?
I'll read the English version.
English, yes.
Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence.
Okay, so thank you, Suha. So what is the glory of the knowledge here? What is the one glory that Krishna says about the knowledge? What do you think? Which part of it? Where is the glorification in this verse?
Most confidential knowledge.
Yes, it's already there, highlighted and underlined. All right. The most confidential knowledge. So this is one glory. And Krishna says the qualification to hear this knowledge. What is that? Did you all hear my question? What is the qualification to receive this knowledge?
He's not envious, right?
Yes, never envious.
Yeah.
Is Krishna, Arjuna is not envious, never envious, which means he is not jealous of Krishna's opulence or power or strength or fame or anything, and he is not selfish, he is not hostile, and he never seen any faults in Krishna. Thus, he can understand Krishna. Why envious and selfish people generally they cannot understand Krishna or the knowledge of the devotional service offered to him? Okay, so with that, Krishna is giving that knowledge, and we can break free. We can break free from the miseries of material existence. What was the term we did? We covered yesterday. We came across yesterday. The nature of the material world. Anybody remembers? You can speak or you can put in the chat. We need to recap. Yeah, we have to refresh. It's just like 24 hours ago. What is the true nature of material world? Someone? What is the nature of the material world?
Illusion.
Okay, illusion, not quite. Temporary, yes. I think now ringing bell already. What is the other one? Remember? Alayam? Yes, who's that, Prabhu?
That materialistic?
Okay. No, the nature of the material world. The nature of the material one is temporary, another one. Remember the word dukhalayam asaswatam?
Full of misery.
Yes, see, the word is also here. It's repeated here. So it's full of miseries and is temporary. Very good. Thank you, Janani Mataji. And the qualification is to be never envious. Okay, now Krishna is going to go on to give more glories about this knowledge. Okay, first here Krishna mentioned about, Krishna briefly mentioned the glory of this knowledge is most confidential knowledge. Right? So here Krishna is giving 8 characteristics of knowledge of pure bhakti. The knowledge about pure bhakti, that means the 8 glorification about this knowledge that he is going to give. Ashwini Mataji.
Raja Vidya Raja Guyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyak Savagamam Dharmiyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed.
Thank you, Ashwini Mataji. So we are going to do an exercise here. 8 characteristics. Please show me what are those characteristics. You probably can identify 7 from the verse. At least 7.
Purest knowledge.
Okay, let's go from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to ask.
King of education.
Sorry, Prabhu, can you repeat that?
King of education.
Yeah, Raja Vidya. Vidya means knowledge, education. Raja means king. Raja Vidya means king of education. Very good. Next is Raja Guhyam.
Secret of all secrets.
Yes, king of all secrets. Okay. Pavitram.
Purity.
Yes, purity, purest knowledge. Okay. Uttamam means transcendental, the highest, which you can't really see the word-to-word translation here because it has given in an overall context. Okay, so that will be actually number 4. The next is Pratyaksha Vagamam.
Self by realization.
Sorry. Pratyaksha Vagamam. Pratyaksha.
Perfection.
Direct perception. Yeah, it can be directly perceived. Okay. In level 3, you will come across this topic. One of the first few beginning of the topics we will teach. There are 3 ways to get knowledge. One is pratyaksha. Pratyaksha, anumana, and sabda. Pratyaksha means seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, touching, and all this. That means you are perceiving knowledge through your senses.
Yes.
This is pratyaksha. Next is anumana. Anumana means it could be like this, it could be like that. Based on this, this is the conclusion. So you're doing analysis, like hypothesis. Then sabda. Sabda means hearing. So these are the 3 ways of we get. Okay, please mute. I can't see who's unmuted. All right, so these are the 3 ways we can get knowledge. So that's why this pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means direct perception, which means you can feel, you can measure it, you can experience it. Okay, so that is pratyaksha vagamam. All right, next, dharmyam. What is dharmyam? What is dharma? Dharmyam comes from dharma. So what is dharma?
Is it self-realization
Yeah, is it?
or perfection?
Perfection of?
Religion.
Yes, dharmyam comes from dharma. Dharma means religion. Okay, remember dharma paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya cha duskrutam. Dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the soul, to destroy the miscreants, to re-establish the principles of religion. Means dharma samstapanartaya. So whenever you see the word dharma, it means religion. Okay, that means religious principles, the Vedic principles. These are the ones. These are the good things, the virtuous codes. This is what religion means by. This is what Krishna means by religion. All right, so this is the next one, perfection of religion. What else is balanced here? Sukham. The root word here is sukha.
Everlasting.
Sukha. What is
Joyful.
Yes, joyful. Okay, so don't get deceived. Sometimes the sequence can be different. All right. Sukham. Kartum avyayam. What is the final one now?
Everlasting.
Everlasting. Very good. Okay. Everlasting, eternal, indestructible. And it is beyond 3 modes. Beyond ignorance, passion, and goodness. Okay, goodness, passion, ignorance. So these are all material modes of nature. So above that is transcendental or spiritual. So this knowledge is above all these 3 knowledge and above all these 3 modes. Therefore, it's everlasting. Okay, like our body is material. It can come under the influence of goodness, passion, and ignorance. However, the soul is not. The soul is transcendental. It's just that it's covered by the 3 layers that I mentioned to you. So when we enter the section of Jnana Yoga, we will dissect our body until we go to the soul. Okay? So So that part will get a bit technical. So just prepare with your notes. Okay. All right. So these are the 8 characteristics of knowledge of pure bhakti. So bhakti is the best of all knowledge, and it will be given in this chapter. And then we are moving to the next section. So from 11 to 25, Krishna is going to describe the different types of worshippers of Krishna. Okay, however, we will not cover all. We're just going to cover 3 slokas from here. So we will start with 9.11. Sam, Prabhu.
Sorry, Mataji, before I read, I just want to ask. I
Yes.
believe just now was just 7, right? And
Yeah, remember this part Uttamam, it is not given as in a direct word translation, but it is given as a general concept. So transcendental means it's above the 3 modes. Therefore, it may be covered under here. It's everlasting. It's not temporary. Yeah,
Okay,
sometimes sometimes not all the word to word translation will be given here. It's more of an understanding. So,
okay.
okay, but if you
Thank
go
you.
by the Sanskrit verses, yes, there are 8 here, but here you can only identify 7.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Prabhu, for the question. Very nice. All right, so we are going to 9.11.
I will read the English one, yeah?
Yes.
Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So look at this word here, mudha. Mudha means fools, all right? And why they are called fools? Because when Krishna comes in human form, they think Krishna is just like us. Okay, they think that he is an ordinary being. He's just some person in the ancient history, or they think he's a great man. People say he's a great teacher of all time. He will say that, of course, Krishna is a great teacher, but he is not just a mere great teacher. All right. Okay, so due to his karmas, he's got a lot of opulence, or he's got some certain strength because of his karma, or they think that oh, Krishna is suffering in as a cowherd boy, or he's black color, look at how petty he is. So these are all looking at Krishna from the bodily aspect, because they think that Krishna is like us, and the reason why we take birth is because of a karma, and they think Krishna is like that too. See, Krishna is born as a son of he's supposed to be a prince, a king, but he was sent to a cowherd village. So this is how they define Krishna. So fools deride me when I descend in the human form. All right, what else? And then they say, oh, he can't be God just because he's having fun time with his friends. Like yesterday, we watched the animation where Lord Brahma played trick on Krishna, thinking that Krishna is just a magician. So don't worry, he's just a magician. He is not my Supreme Lord. My Supreme Lord will not go down to that level and play with his friends. All right. Similarly, what we saw today. What happened today? This past time. How did Lord Indra see Krishna?
As a how do you
As a little cowherd boy.
the naughty boy.
He's a naughty boy, Samu. When Krishna diverted the people of villages to perform sacrifices for Govardhan instead of Lord Indra, what Lord Indra felt?
Angry.
Yeah, he got angry, and he said Krishna is he gave so many names for Krishna. He's such a small boy, he's just a little boy, and he's trying to compete with me. So like this, Lord Indra was angry, right? Because he finds that he actually forgotten, he was put under forgetfulness, that being Indra, being in the position of king of heaven, or king of sky, he is just need to perform his duty. Okay, he just need to perform his duty and give sufficient rain and sufficient and to allow sufficient heat to the people of the material world. But what happens? He thinks that he is powerful. He controls everything. So when the sacrifice was not done for him, and instead going to the Govardhan, actually Govardhan is an expansion of Krishna. Okay, so he got envious. All right, he got angry and he tried to attack the village. Okay, so this is another example how fools deride in Krishna when he appears in human form. Krishna comes in the simple human form because he wants to enjoy the pastime, right? He wants to enjoy the parental love, the friendship love. Okay, he wants to enjoy all this, and he wants to reciprocate with servant. If he manifest all his opulence in full, right? He is God like that when he comes and he manifests everything to the villager, then people will look at him in awe and reverence, and they will not freely uh, shower love with him. And therefore, Krishna cannot enjoy the reciprocation. He comes in a human form because he wants to enjoy the reciprocation. He wants to feel the exchange of love. And that is why Krishna performed the pastimes. However, in that process, even the devas become bewildered. So Krishna takes the chance to teach them a lesson. Okay. So many people cannot understand the supremacy of Krishna. Okay. So how he establishes the supremacy: when he was born, he immediately showed this four-handed form to the father, Vasudeva and Devaki. Okay. And then he turned back into a baby. All right, to show that he is God. Actually, he has appeared in human form to perform a certain pastimes. So this how fools deride in me. Okay. So this story we already watched yesterday. I hope you all remember the story. And what happens at the end? Who can tell me actually what happened? Why there were so many Brahmas? This is a very important point in the pastime. Who can tell me what happened? Okay, of course, Krishna was playing with all his friends. You know how he played, and this actually bewildered Lord Brahma. Krishna shares food with his friends. And how he shares, he grabbed food from their plate, and his friends grab food from his plate. And when this kind of things happen, when Krishna's friends have food in their mouth, when they are munching, you know what Krishna will do? He will punch their cheek and the food will come out, right? And Krishna will eat that food, which is coming directly from the friend's mouth. And when Lord Brahma saw the, oh my God, my Lord will not do this. He's just an ordinary human. I'm going to test him. And that's where he played that trick on Krishna. All right. So Krishna, so when Lord Brahma kidnapped the cowherd boys and cows and calves, which are the most dear thing to Krishna, and he wants to see what Krishna going to do. So what happened? Krishna expanded himself into that much of cowherd boys and cows, and he went back home. And that didn't happen for only 1 day or 2 days. Krishna did that expansion for 1 whole year. Because on the earth, if it's 1 year, in the Devas planet, it's just like a moment like that. So when Lord Brahma realized, oh, it's just 1 moment already, I want to see what Krishna is doing. Then he saw on the earth, it's already 1 year Krishna has been covering like that. All right. Then then Lord Brahma realized, oh, I am not dealing with an ordinary person. And that's when Krishna will invite all the Brahmas from where? This is the question to you all. Where did these Brahmas came from? All these
From
Brahmas.
all the universe.
Remember when I showed the picture of Mahavishnu and so many bubbles coming out from his body? So each of that universe will have 1 Brahma. And all these universes, they are not in the same size. Our universe is one of the smallest. Therefore, our Brahma will only have 4 heads. And there are Brahmas with hundreds of heads and thousands of heads, depending on the size of the universe. So because Lord Brahma was so puffed up, thinking that nobody can, deceive him, and he has the best knowledge, all right, and he thought he understood his Supreme Lord. So to show that Lord Brahma did not understand Krishna in truth, Krishna had to bring all the Brahmas from all other universes to show Lord Brahma that you are just one of the smallest Brahma. There are bigger Brahmas with more heads from bigger universes. So that shows Krishna's Aishwaryam, Krishna's opulence that way. So Lord Brahma realized that the Supreme Lord is Krishna, and he can be in whatever form, whatever pastime that he's going to perform, and we should not misunderstand him. All right, so that's one. And Krishna, people also think that he's an ordinary human, and God is formless. So when they come to perform pastime to the material world, they take form. See, Lord Rama suffered in the forest. So all this because they see the Lord as a mere human. So we have to understand that the only reason that the Lord wants to go through this situation is only because he wants to do it. Okay, he is not obliged to perform this because of some karmic reactions or whatsoever. It's ultimately his own will. Okay, all right. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will say, I will come at my own will, like that. All right, so this is what happens. Generally, people deride in Krishna. On the contrary, what the bhaktas do. So Krishna explains is 9.13. Jai Silan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, with the English version.
Yes.
O son of Prata, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible.
Inexhaustible. Okay, so the devotees out of the when they perform devotional service, they receive certain knowledge. Right, they can understand Krishna because they are physically they are doing it, practically they are doing it. They are just not reading theoretically. It's when you do it practically, you will experience it. This is what Krishna mentioned earlier. It can be directly perceived. You can measure it, you can feel it, you can experience it. So when they experience that the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is original and he's exhaustible, this is what they do. They will fully engage in devotional service and they give total surrender. So who is this? This lady here? Who is this? Who is Mahabharata expert?
Draupadi.
Oh wow, Viraj, very good. Who is this person pulling her garment?
He's one of the chorus.
Miraj?
Dushashana.
Yes. What is that, Miraj? Dushashana. Very good. Okay, so we have two experts here, Miraj and Aura here. Okay, anything about Mahabharata, I will ask them. Okay, so what happens? He's pulling the garment, and all her husbands and people in the assembly, including Dronacharya and grandfather Bhishma, were not able to do anything. Finally, Draupadi fully surrendered. She called Govinda. Krishna came and immediately gave unlimited supply of garment until Dushashan got exhausted. Okay, so this is the turning point for the Mahabharata war. This is the trigger, all right? Okay, so this is a total surrender. And people who are totally surrendered, Krishna provides what here? The answer is in this verse.
Protection.
Protection, yes, they are under the protection. Okay, so that's that. I already explained this. Okay, so before we move on to text 22, it's I feel it's important for us to bring in text 20 and 21. Okay, so text 20 and 21, who can read for us from your Bhagavad Gita? The English version, the English translation. Who has? We have 2 verses now and then 2 more verses later. So probably we can take turn. I think what I know is Sam Prabhu has Bhagavad Gita, Kartini Mataji has, Ashwini Mataji. So who wants to go today?
Text 20, is it?
Yes.
Can I read?
Yes, Mataji. Go ahead.
Okay. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and it is never annihilated. When all in the world is annihilated, that part remains as it is.
Mataji, this is chapter 9.
Yeah, I think so. One moment.
Really? Okay, let me check.
Can I read, Mataji?
Hang on, Prabhu. Let me just
No, I
check.
think it's chapter 8. Sorry. Sorry.
That's why. Chapter 9, text 20.
20.
Yeah. Read, Mataji.
You want me to read it?
Chapter 9, text 20.
Okay. Okay. Those who study the Vedas.
Okay, Mataji, read slowly. Read
Okay.
slowly and clearly.
Those who study the Vedas and drink some juice,
Soma
juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So let's pause there for a while. Who heard what Mataji read and can give me a summary of that? Who was she talking about? Those who have Bhagavad Gita, you can also refer and give me the answer. This is about attaining heavenly planets. Who attain, or what do they do when they attain the heavenly planets? What is the activity?
They enjoy the godly delight.
What else they drink? What else they do?
Soma juice.
They drink Soma
Soma juice. So you saw the cartoon just now. Lord Indra was having something in his glass here. So that's Soma juice. Okay. So in heavenly planet, that's what they do. Okay. They drink all these things. They enjoy nice dance and songs. They call them apsaras, the denizens, the denizens, apsaras, right? And Gandharvas. Apsaras are dancers, Gandharvas are singers. All right. So that's why sometimes when you see somebody sings very beautifully, right? You will say, this person must have been Gandharvas in the past, like that. Excuse me.
9:30.
Okay.
Okay. So purified or sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delight. So this is about attaining heaven by piety. Are you doing a lot of pious credits? You go to heavenly planets and you enjoy wonderful time there. Okay. However, can somebody read text 21 for us now?
Okay, I will read.
Okay.
When they have
Miraj, can we hear from Miraj?
You wanted to read what? Miraj says, when they have enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
Yay! Very good. Very well done, Miraj. Okay, so what was the conclusion? What happens when they when they perform pious activities? They have pious credits. They go to heavenly planet. They drink Soma juice. They enjoy heavenly delights. After that, what happens to them? What happens to them? What happens to
They
their
are caught in
pious
the
credits?
cycle of birth and death again and again.
Yeah. So what happens to their pious credits?
Exhausted.
Okay, I can't copy and paste in the chat. All right. They exhaust their results of their pious activities. After that, they return to this mortal planet. Okay. And therefore, the conclusion is these people, even though they go to higher planet system, they come back and they experience repeated birth and death. On the contrary, what happens to the people who engage in worshipping Krishna? 9.22, Yamuna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Ah,
Read the English first.
yes.
But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have.
Thank you. So, Vahamyaham. Vahamyaham means carry what they lack. I preserve what they have. Okay. So this is but done. Those who perform pious activity, they go to heavenly planets. And once they exhaust their fixed deposit, they come back. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. Okay, what pictures are these? Do you all remember?
Prahlad Maharaj and Narasimha.
Actually, Prahlad Maharaj demonstrated which devotional service? Yesterday, I was like going through each of the devotional services and give the example, the best example in each devotional service. So how do you relate to these pictures today? What was the devotional service that he demonstrated?
Is it Vahamyaham?
No, one of the 9 devotional services.
Remembering.
Yes. What is in Sanskrit?
Sarvanam.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. That's it.
Nam Simran, is it?
Nam Simran.
So, which one? How? Who's confident? Come on.
Was meditating.
I never say your answer is wrong, but I just want for you to be confident.
I think it's Nam Simran.
Hearing.
Hearing is Ravanam.
Dhyanam.
Dhyanam. Is Dhyanam in one of the 9 devotional service?
Remembering, serving.
Macam mana ni? Top 3 ni.
Akim is one of them.
That's much later. So what was Prahlad Maharaj?
It's Smaranam.
So, betul? Keputusan muktamad? How? Mataji, confident or not?
It's Smaranam.
Yeah. Is it keputusan muktamad?
Keputusan utama.
Muktamad, want to use life for you, no? Yeah, thank you, Brinda Mataji. Yes, it's Smarana, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Okay, so his life was in danger. Due to whom? Who is putting his life in danger? Such a small boy.
His father.
His own father, the demon king father. But he was protected throughout by the Lord until the end. You know, such a nice pastime. Okay. Finally, Lord has to come. Lord came in the form of Lord Narsingha to fulfill certain criteria in the boon that. Can please mute yourselves? Who else? Okay, thank you. All right. It's because when he asked immortality from Lord Brahma said, even I am not immortal. Even I die one day. So you can ask something else. So Lord, the demon Hiranyakashipu will ask, okay, fine. So give me a boon whereby I should not be killed by a man, a human. I should not kill by animal. I should not kill during the daytime. I should not be killed during nighttime. I should not be killed on the ground. I should not be killed in the air. I should not be killed by any man-made weapons. What else? There are few like that. All right. So the Lord.
Inside or outside?
Yes, inside or outside. Very good. Okay, and yeah, yes, I think that's all. I think we covered pretty much all of that. So since Lord Brahma is a devotee of Krishna and Krishna doesn't want to override the boons that Lord Brahma gave, so he was so kind. Krishna is like, you want to trick me? I am the best trickster here. So how to go around it? I appear in a form where you can't tell that I'm human and you can't tell I'm animal. I'm half animal, half human. You can't tell that I kill you in the night or day because it's a sunset. And I killed, and he killed the Hiranyakashipu at the entrance of the house. And you can't say that inside of the palace or outside of the palace. And you can't say it's on the ground or in the air, it's on the lap of the Lord. And you can't say that he killed him with any man-made weapons because he used his own fingernails. Okay, so that's how he killed Hiranyakashipu. And throughout, he protected Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, before that. All right, so yeah, see, yesterday I mentioned, right, he was attacked by snakes and then he let elephants trample on him. All right, so the Lord protects the devotee. All right, so it's just like how a cat bites a rat and how a cat bites its own child. All right, if the situation of a rat in the mouth of cat is in fearful because he knows he's going to die, but the kitten is protected. My mom is carrying me, right? That kind of protection is what the Lord will give us. Okay, so there is a story on this. To them, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. This is a story of a Brahmana. Okay, story time. Excuse me if my voice today, don't know what happened. All right, so what happened is that there was a poor Brahmana and he was looking at this verse, Dharmiyam, right? And he literally had no money. He literally had no food. He and his wife were like starving. They have no food, no money. But then he was like opening that particular verse and he was looking at the verse and he was thinking, Krishna has lied to me. I got nothing to eat. I got no money and he has not provided me anything. He said he's going to carry he's going to carry to me what I don't have. But looks like his word is wrong after all. It's not true, it's false. So what he did, he scratched that word Vahamyam, carry what I lack. He scratched that and then he told his wife, I'm going to go and have a shower, have a bath in the river, and he left the house. So, after shower, he wanted to go out begging for food. All right. So while he was out, two boys came to the house. So the wife opened the door and asked, who are you? So one boy was blackish, one boy was white, and they were carrying a lot of food. And they told the wife, we have brought food for you. Okay. And the wife asked, food? From where? Our master, we are your husband's students. So our master asked us to bring this food to you. All right. Oh, is it? Okay, why don't you wait until he comes? Then we can have a lunch and then we can go. But the boy said, no, we want to go quick. We don't want to meet your husband again. They said like that. We are so afraid of your husband. So the wife was surprised. Why are you afraid? He's a nice man. No, look, he beat us. And they bent down on their back. There were strokes, right? Scratches and strokes. Look, there's so much of marks here. It's because he has beaten us. All right. And the wife was very shocked. I never knew my husband could be like this. He's usually a gentleman. He doesn't do this. All right. So the boys quickly went off. And then after some time, the husband came back home and he was so surprised the wife has cooked so much of food and there's so much of food there in the house. And he asked, where did she get this food from? And then she answered, it's two boys, your students that you sent, they brought this food. So one was black. She will say that the two boys, they claim they are students and they brought this food to us. Really? How did they look like? Then he said, one was black, one was white. And then she also said that, poor thing, why do you have to do that to the boy? They had so much of strokes and scratches on their back. You shouldn't have done that. Yes, after that only he will ask from the wife, really? How did they look like? one was black, one was white. All right. Immediately he rings a bell. He went back to his book and he said, look, I scratched his words because I had no faith in Krishna's words and I despised him. I thought this word is false, but he actually brought food for us, because Krishna does that because the Brahmana was such a pure devotee. It's just that during that situation, he suspected Krishna has given false promise. So like this, he understood that that word is true. Okay, so Krishna personally came to show him, to convince him that he is going to take care of them. He is going to take care of the devotees. So he will personally come to take care. He will tell Arjuna later on, he will say, you can declare to the world that my devotees will not perish. So this is the conviction that we should have, that the Lord will protect us under all circumstances. All right. So next, we are going to go into what kind of things we can offer to Krishna. So before that, we have to read these two slokas, 24 and 25. Is there anybody else who like to read text 24 first?
Me, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
I am the enjoyer and the only Lord of all sacrifices. But those who fail to realize my divine nature must be reborn.
Okay. Really, Mataji? Is it Bhagavad Gita as it is?
Yes, Mataji. Vida Mataji. Sorry, give me a second.
Okay, is it as it is? I mean, it doesn't differ so much. It's just that the two words, the last two words. Anybody has a different translation from
I
Bhagavad Gita?
am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down.
Okay, so it's pretty similar. Thank you, Prabhu. So Katini Mataji's version is will reborn. So another version is fall down. Okay, so basically it's referring to the same thing. All right. Krishna declares here that all activities are meant for satisfying Krishna, and those who don't understand this, they will fall down. Fall down means like how we read earlier, they will from the heavenly planets, because heavenly planets are higher planets, so they will fall down to material world, to earthly planets, and they will be reborn. So both are correct. Okay, it's just that sometimes the words can differ from version to version. I mean, they enhance it for better understanding. All right, so the next one, Krishna will talk about different types of worship lead to different destination. Who can read for us text 25?
Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So Krishna is talking about destination and who's with what faith, all right, and then your destination. So those who worship devas, they will go to the planet of the devas. So each deva will have their own planet. All right. So the bhakta of the deva at the end of their life, they will go to that planet to serve their Ishta deva. Okay, they will go there. All right. The next one is Krishna say those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors. So there is ancestor planet. All right. Those who worship ghosts and spirits, they will go to the planet of ghosts and spirits. So we are not talking about one deva, one planet. That's it. There are so many planets of the deva. There are so many planets of ancestors, and there are so many planets of ghosts and spirits. So they have different realm. All right. But Krishna say those who worship me will live with me. Yesterday, Krishna mentioned a sloka Up to what loka? Up until the what loka repeated birth will take place. What was the highest loka Krishna mentioned yesterday? Do you all remember? What was the highest planet in the material world?
Is it Swargaloka?
No.
Highest Brahmaloka.
Yes, Brahma Loka or Satya Loka, because Brahma was the first secondary creator. Okay, first creator was Krishna. Krishna created Brahma to start creating. So he sits at the topmost planet in the material world. So up to his planet, so the heavenly planets are in the middle. Later, we will come to a place where I will show you a chart. So you will get a picture where are the position of the planets. So you will know where are we, and where the heavenly planets, where the ghost planets, where are the Brahmaloka, Satyaloka. Okay, so Krishna is giving this different destination for different types of worships. So basically our destination, we have to understand from this point here, we have to understand that our destination depends on our choice to accept certain object of worship. So you need to be ready. If you're worshipping this, you should be ready to go to that destination. But Krishna already said, up to Brahma Loka, repeated birth and death take place. You just going for a vacation, finish up your money, and you have to come back. So you're going to do this again and again and again. And Krishna said, if you come to me, then you will not return to this material world, which is temporary and full of miseries. So that is the comparison and the point that we need to understand. So in the next verse, okay, so earlier Krishna said, right, all activities are meant for satisfying Krishna. That means he is the object of sacrifice. So whatever sacrifices we do, whatever offerings that we do, we have to do it for Krishna. And now we want to know what kind of sacrifice Krishna wants, or what kind of sacrifices that Krishna wants can accept. So again, he is the only receiver of the sacrifice. Now he will reveal what type of offering he desires. Okay, so we cannot give whatever that we like, correct? We have to give what he likes. And he is mentioning here 9.26. This is a very famous sloka, very important sloka. Who's doing 9.26? I lost the list. Who has the list in the hand? Ushi Mataji, right? Mataji, you're there?
It's me, right? I think.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Miraj, what are the 4 things Krishna said you can offer? This is actually a very famous sloka we teach for the children. So maybe Miraj can tell. What Krishna wants from us, Miraj?
Sorry, Mataji, he ran away just now.
Ah, he ran away already.
He's
Okay.
playing with it.
So please tell me, what are the 4 things Krishna said he can accept?
Leaf, flower, fruit, water.
Yes, these 4 things. Krishna never said, offer a meat, sacrifice a goat to me, sacrifice a cow to me, sacrifice a horse for me. Krishna never say all that. He's making our life very simple. And is it that Krishna is lacking of leaf and flower and fruit and water? He is the Supreme Lord. Everything comes from him. Remember, he is the source of the material and spiritual planet. He is the origin and he is the dissolution. And in between, he said he is the maintainer. So basically, he is not dependent on us for all these things. He is only accepting the love that you're offering through these 4 items. So you see here, Krishna is putting so much of importance on this word, bhaktiya. This bhakti is appearing 2 times in this verse. So whenever in Sanskrit a word is mentioned 2 times or 3 times, that means it's super, super important. Bhaktiya prayachati, bhakti upartam. If one offers me with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. So we can ask, does Krishna really need service from us? Why he keeps saying, perform devotion service to me, perform devotion service to me, become my pure bhakta? Why? Does he really need all this? Here, Lord Brahma is describing how opulent Krishna is. All right. Let's see Brahma Samhita 5.29. Nobody has volunteered. But somebody can read for us, please.
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Kartini Mataji.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
Okay, so this verse is talking about how self-sufficient Krishna is. Look at this word here, Chintamani. Chintamani is jewel. So Krishna is staying in a place where the buildings are built with spiritual gems. Okay. Kalpa Vriksha means wish-fulfilling trees. So he's staying in a place where the building is made of spiritual gems and surrounded by wish-fulfilling trees, which means you can wish anything and everything. The trees there will fulfill your desires. So basically, Krishna has everything there, reservoir of things there to fulfill his desires. Okay, Laksha Vrtesu Surabir Api Palayandam. Surabir means who is tending the cows. Krishna is tending the cows. And Lakshmi means a goddess Lakshmi. And he doesn't have one Lakshmi, he has Sahasra Lakshmi. Sahasra means thousands. So he is being served by thousands of Lakshmis. Sevya Manam means serving, doing seva. So he has all these. He's got jewel-bedecked buildings, he has wish-fulfilling trees, he has thousands of Lakshmis serving him. Okay, so basically he doesn't need anything from us, all right? And what else? No one, and he's actually only accepting the offering of devotee as exchange of love and affection. Okay, finally, Brahma is saying, Govindam Adi Purusham. Adi means the beginning, the most beginning. So the word here translated as primeval. Okay, Govindam is Krishna. Adi Purusha, he is the first Purusha, first God that created. Okay, that's the first person who created everything. Okay, he is the beginning. All right, Tamaham Bhajami means I worship Govinda. All right, so this is a glorification of Lord Brahma of Lord Krishna. So there are more verses. All right, sometimes I will give verse from Brahma Samhita as well, so we can learn something more than Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so there's a story time here. So those who wants to leave, you can leave. Those who want to hear story, you can hear story. Is very nice. So this is a story of a fruit vendor. This is all about giving love to Krishna. So one day when Krishna was very small, a fruit vendor came by Nanda Maharaj's house. So she was selling fruits. Fruits. Who wants to buy fruits? Like that. All right. So Nanda Maharaj came. He gave some rice. Those days is butter, right? You give something, they give you something. So he gave her some bulk of rice and she gave some fruits to Nanda Maharaj. So they went in. And Krishna thought, I also want some fruits. And he ran inside and he grabbed a fistful of grains, rice. Then he ran outside. He went in and grabbed some rice. He ran outside. So along the way, almost all the rice fell through his little fingers. So when he told the fruit vendor, I want some fruits, then fruit vendor said, you need to give me something. All right. So he opened his hand. Look, I brought some rice for you. When he opened, there's hardly any rice left. Probably there's just like 3-4 rice just stuck to his palm. Then it was so cute. The fruit vendor actually, she got like sold off. You know, she's like, she was purchased by the cuteness of Krishna. That's okay. Put all your rice in my basket and take how much fruit your little hands can take. So Krishna also dusted off the rice grain into her basket, and the lady gave some fruits as much as little Krishna's hands can hold. All right. Then she left. As she walked, she felt her basket was getting heavy. So she put down the basket and she saw the grains that Krishna gave has turned into jewels. All right. So this is how Krishna reciprocates when you give everything that you have with love. All right, nothing exchange in material. So this is how Krishna beautifully reciprocates. Next story is Vidura. Vidura is King Dhritarashtra's brother. All right. Vidura is a more simple and humble person compared to Dhritarashtra, because Dhritarashtra, you know, he's the man behind the Kauravas and asking them to fight against the Pandavas to get the throne. All right. But Vidura was different. So he was living in a very simple life. He was living in a hut. He's got a wife named Vidurani. So one day, Krishna went to Vidura's house. Actually, he got an invitation from Duryodhana. This is before the war. So Duryodhana wants to, make Krishna come to his palace, and he wants to pakat with him so that Krishna will support him. All right, but of course, Krishna knows what is Duryodhana is after. So he said, no, I'm going to Vidura's house. Actually, Duryodhana got upset. That's a Mahabharata story. All right, so Krishna will go to Vidura's house. At that time, Vidura was not at home. Only the wife was at home. All right, so he said, I'm hungry, Vidurani Maya. Please give me something to eat. Okay, Maya means mother. I'm so hungry. Please give me something to eat. All right, and she basically only had chapati and spinach. Nothing else. She didn't have anything else. All right, so after makan, she gave dessert banana. But she was so purchased by with Krishna, like she totally lost her senses. She really lost herself in that by admiring Krishna. She actually peeled the banana. She threw the banana and she gave the peel to Krishna. So Krishna also smilingly ate it. So this was going on for some time until Vidura came back home. And then he said, oh, my lord, oh, Vidurani, what are you doing? You are throwing the banana and giving the peels to Krishna. Then Krishna said, Vidura, don't stop her. She has lost her. She's totally absorbed in giving the banana peel because she's giving her with love. You should not stop her. But Vidurani already came to her conscious, and she was like, oh my lord, I'm so sorry, what am I doing? So now she was like so carefully, so consciously, she peeled the banana, she threw the peel and she gave the banana. All right, then Krishna said, no, I only want to eat this. Okay, then cannot. All right, Vidurani said, oh, forgive me, here, take the banana. So like that. So he wants to take that peel. No, I want this peel. Then Vidura asked, but why you want to eat the peel? Because it was offered with love. All right, she was not conscious. She was offering with love. She's totally lost herself, looking at me. All right, so that's how Krishna reciprocates. I mean, he likes that act of Vidurani. All right, and then later he will say he was like is a little disappointed, and he will say, oh, this fruit is not as tasty as the peels were, like that. So that is the sweetness of Krishna. So he loves to enjoy these loving exchanges. So this is our final sloka for the day, and it is called the essence of Bhagavad Gita 9.34. Anybody would like to read? Is anybody there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Got us scared. All right.
Okay, I'll read.
Okay, Param Prabhu.
Engage yourself. Engage your.
Always in thinking.
Param Prabhu, unmute Prabhu. I think you got accidentally muted.
Oh, sorry. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Okay, so this is an important sloka, and this sloka will also come in a slightly different version in end of chapter 18. So which means Krishna is giving lots of importance to the points inside this sloka. So what are the things that Krishna wants us to do?
Always think of him.
Right, always thinking of me.
Become his devotee.
Become his devotee.
Offer obeisances.
Offer obeisance to me.
Him.
Worship me.
Worship me.
Yes, thank you. So at the end, Krishna always guarantee something. He always guarantee that that you will come to me, you will not go back to the temporary material world. These are all the promise that Krishna promises this so many times through her Bhagavad Gita. Even you can tell how many times Krishna promises this already. So Bhakti is like Ganga. So whoever that she comes across, she purifies everybody. She doesn't see that who is this person. Oh, he's a rich person, I should purify him. Oh, he's not a rich person, I should not purify him. Oh, he's a bad guy, I should not purify him. She doesn't do that, right? Mother Ganga, she flows freely. So and that's how she doesn't see who is suitable or unsuitable. All right, and she destroys the sins of these people by her touch. So the bhakti is also like that. It purifies whoever engaged in the bhakti. It doesn't see you're qualified or not qualified, you had past karmas or not. Doesn't see all that, right? So this is one example, engage the mind. So how do you engage your mind? A devotee always engage in chanting. So those who have chanting beads, you can start chanting. Okay, so if you want to know how to chant, please ask me, I can teach you. All right. And then what else? How do you engage your mind? Hearing. Like what we are doing now, it's hearing. And then you can speak. That also you're engaging your mind in doing that. And then become my devotee. Right? Krishna said, become my devotee. Krishna never said that become another devotee, because Krishna already said, if your faith is in this way, your destination is in this way. And Krishna said, if you go there, you're going to come back to the material world. But if you come back to me, then you will not go to the material world. So the ball is in our court. We want to decide what are we going to do with our soul. Next, offer obeisance. Sometimes people don't like to pay obeisance to Krishna. I don't like to bow down. Why should I bow down? I have my own status. All right. If you do not bow down to Krishna, you will have to bow down to the 4 real problems of life, which is, what are the 4 real problems? We just went through this yesterday. Anybody remembers? Is anybody there? Or
Yeah.
am I speaking alone? Okay. What are the 4 real problems? Birth, disease, death,
Old age and death.
Yes, old age and death. So if we don't bow down to Krishna and to this knowledge, we will bow down. We'll have to bow down to these 4 problems. Okay. So if we bow down to Krishna, then we are released from these 4 problems. Finally, Krishna says, worship me. So how do we worship? By performing arati, by offering flowers, okay, by performing certain, by offering some paraphernalia like incense. Okay, so all these things, these are all worship. So these 4 are the most confidential knowledge. If we are engaged in these 4 activities, we will be absorbed in Krishna, and eventually we will be able to go back to Krishna. So we must worship Krishna directly. Okay, if you read these certain verses in this chapter, Krishna will say, many people worship me indirectly, but they don't know. So Krishna is giving a solution. Please, you can, directly worship me. You don't have to go around. Just worship me directly by performing devotional service. All right, final sloka here, final slide here. Somebody can read for us?
Can I, Mataji?
Yes, Pusha Mataji.
By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one immediately concentrates on the sound vibration and thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord. And very quickly, one is elevated to the position of samadhi or trance. If one goes on chanting the holy names of the Lord, which are not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, naturally his mind becomes absorbed in thought of the Lord.
Right, thank you, Mataji. So the beauty of this chanting is like this. When you are thirsty, if you chant water, 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 your thirst is not quenched. But Krishna and his holy names are non-different. So Krishna present in his holy name as he is. All right. So when you chant his holy name, you are actually realizing him. So always remember, the water and the word water is 2 different things, but Krishna and his holy name is one. So by chanting, we can think of Krishna, we can remember Krishna, we can feel Krishna. So the more and more that we think of Krishna this way, our existence will be purified. All right, such devotee will be purified. So that is the point here. The name of the Lord is not different from the Supreme. Okay, so this recap, I'm going to leave it here. You can go through when I share the PDF later. Okay, so probably you can just look at the recap and try to recall the information we shared today, and then you can attempt your the quiz. Okay. All right, so that's about it. Any questions? Yeah, today
I just have one question.
Yes.
In the beginning, you mentioned that Arjuna mentioned that he is not envious of Krishna. And so, right? So, but how can we as laymen be envious?
Yeah, remember the verse where Krishna says, "Fools deride in me." So, which means we cannot see Krishna as Krishna has so much of opulence. I also want to become like him. We don't have that, but those demons, that's what they thought. Right, I can defeat Krishna, I want to fight with Krishna. So this is the competition that they feel about Krishna. Okay, and another point is that we were all originally we are from spiritual world. However, Krishna gives us a very minute freedom. We have free will. So in that free will, what we do is, the moment we saw Krishna, that Krishna has so many servants, Krishna is so rich and strong and wealthy, full of knowledge, why don't I also get to enjoy like what Krishna's enjoying? Poof, that's how the enviousness affects us, and we take birth in material world, because Krishna allows us, okay, you wanted all this, right? You can go down and enjoy. It's like that. So everything starts from enviousness.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Mataji, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Good
Thank you,
night.
Mataji.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Oh,
Krishna.
today we forgot to chant. Okay.
Mataji, we forgot to chant.
Yeah, bro. Can we chant 3 times?
Yes, Mataji. Okay, yes.
Mataji, would you like to lead?
Which one, me?
Yeah.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare.
Haribo. Thank you
Oh,
for staying back.
Good night.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Good night, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Good night.
Haribo.
Hare
Good
Krishna.
night. Bye.